Okay.
There's no volume. Okay.
I can hear you, yeah. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Doesn't say recording in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. Please take notice that the Wellfleet Conservation Commission, in accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wellfleet Environmental Protection Bylaw, will hold a public hearing in person in the basement of Town Hall and via Zoom on Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. The public hearings begin at 4 p.m., which is now, and it will be followed by the business meeting. In attendance, we have Michael Fisher, John Portnoy, John Humbler, Bob Stewart, and Leon Shreves, so we have a quorum. First hearing is for King and Jess Jail Lee, 1100 Blackfish Lane, map 30, parcel 105, ST 077-1662. This has been, we've been hearing about this since September of 2024. And this is an after the fact notice of intent to repair existing boathouse's shed. Mr. Lee. Good evening.
Lee.
And good evening, Teresa Sprague of Blue Flax Design here with Mr. Lee on behalf of Mr. Lee and his family. And I know that this has been a long, drawn out piecemeal project to work through, but I think we have everything finally in front of you. And so first of all, I appreciate your patience while I got involved in this and tried to get all the pieces in place and get everybody organized. So just quickly to review, I'd like to go over what we've submitted for your records. We have the original site plan, which was done by J.M. O'Reilly and Associates and was submitted with the notice of intent filing. And then additional information that was requested was a plan showing the restoration of the area that was disturbed around the boathouse for the reconstruction of the new boathouse. We do have a stamped certified letter from J.M. O'Reilly's office discussing the existing shed size. That's dated May 27, 2025. In addition to that, we also have a new updated site plan from J.M. O'Reilly and Associates that shows the coverage table within the 100-foot buffer zone. And that is dated June 30th. Thank you. That was the most recent submission, dated June 30th. We also have an updated submission from EVB Design showing the details of the boathouse construction, including the flooring framing, the ceiling framing, the roof plan framing, and then the elevations for that design. In addition to that, EVB Design and Mr. Lee have had submitted a request for a building permit, and after the fact building permit, and that building permit has been issued for the shed to remain in its current configuration and location with no additional changes required by the building department for that shed. So back when I first met with you, which was back in April, there was a discussion regarding the way the shed was constructed, and it was reconstructed on sonotubes, which the original shed had been constructed on. And then there was a question to whether the sonotube should remain or different kinds of footings should be put in place. I believe that the commission overall agreed that the amount of disturbance required to lift the shed to put additional footings in place would be more detrimental to the resource area than the existing conditions. So with that, we have submitted a revised plan that was dated 6/6/25 that just shows the shed in its current configuration and the area, approximate 100 square foot area around the shed that's proposed to be restored. That area was the area that's disturbed. I have to admit, I have not been out to the site recently, and I'm presuming that we'll probably see more beach grass growing into that area. We do also have the oak trees that had been cut previously that are regenerating, as well as one dead pitch pine that had been cut. And with that, we're proposing to remove all of the debris that was left underneath the oak tree, plant some beach plum, plant some native grasses, including Carex pennsylvanica and Melischonsia luxuosa, which is grasses that are found in this area. We are proposing to remove some bittersweet that's currently girdling a healthy existing black cherry and serviceberry. Is to maintain those trees and keep them healthy and plant an additional serviceberry in the area. So in the 100 square foot area, we're proposing to plant the grasses, the beech plum, the bayberry, the serviceberry, and then in addition to that, the ground cover grasses and then beech plum in the area where the debris has been suppressing some of the growth. There was a lot of bayberry coming up through there. We'd like to remove the debris that was left on the ground and suppressing the growth in that area. And then any bare areas would be restored with some beech plum. Based on John O'Reilly's findings that the existing shed is slightly smaller than the previous shed that was in place. So he's showing that the according to his calculations, the current shed structure is 16.2 feet by 8.6 feet versus the estimated previous shed size of 17 feet by 9 feet. There was some discussion about whether or not the deck boards should be removed, and we were looking at proposing stairs in place of those deck boards. Given the fact that including the deck boards, this current shed is smaller, and then if we remove the deck boards, we just need to get open joists, which to me seem like they could potentially be a hazard. We've removed the proposal for a step, and we're just proposing to leave that deck board as the step down. It's not wide enough to be an actual deck. Maybe you could fit a little folding beach chair on it, but I don't even think it's quite wide enough for that. It's really more acting as a step that runs along the front of the shed. So with that, happy to answer any questions about the additional information that's been added. As you can see, the coverage is all within the resource area in the 50-foot buffer. That's the way this current structure has been laid out. John included the house, the greenhouse, the stairs, deck, patio step, and then this shed, which he's calling boathouse, both in the resource area and then showing which portions of that are within the 50-foot buffer. For a total of 4,100.
Is there, in this one, maybe I missed it, is there a FEMA assessment? Or
So the building department, and I can let Mr. Lee speak to that. Unfortunately, I was not involved in filing with the building department. The architect was responsible for that, and Mr. Lee may speak to that. But yes, there was, the floodplain was considered with the application to the building department. And Mr. Lee would like to talk about anything that that the building department required.
Building department doesn't require anything else.
Yeah, I talked to the building commissioner, and as long as there's no utilities there, he doesn't need to do anything for FEMA compliance. He said there's no electricity in the building. If there is because there is that line that goes down there, but he says it's disconnected. If there was electricity, all the utilities would have to be flood compliant, which is you have to put special
It was actually.
GFI, and then it has to be 2 feet above the floodplain, whatever elevation that is. So he is all set. We do have one of my suggested conditions is that he not get his certificate of compliance until the building permit is closed. So we can hold him to that. So if any inspections need to be done, he wouldn't be able to get his COC until the building commissioner closed that building permit, issued and closed.
What does it mean by
So
closed?
the commission has to issue a certificate of compliance for the notice of intent application. They won't issue that until the building commissioner has signed off on the building permit.
Has closed the building permit.
Has closed the building.
Yeah, so all the inspections are done if applicable. So you have your building permit, but the building permit has to be closed before you can get your certificate of compliance.
I see.
Yeah.
So we have to go through the building inspection.
Yeah, you can talk to the building department about how to close your issued building permit. It's different for each, depending on the structure.
Okay.
It's a fairly simple
Yeah.
process. You're not talking about complicated things.
Yeah, you probably,
This is the hard part.
you'll probably just need one inspection. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Right, I have a question.
Yeah.
If this building is lost due to a storm, for instance.
Yeah.
When I read through the suggested conditions, there is no explicit statement.
I think it says
Some of it will move.
the structure
some
can,
to-
yeah. The structure can no longer be categorized as a protected structure and cannot be rebuilt,
Like,
including if there is substantial damage as defined by FEMA.
yeah, I understand that, but item 2 does not call out a requirement to remove demolition debris.
We can add that as a condition.
I'd
Structure to be,
like to see that just so it's.
the
upfront and
structure
clear.
must be removed
Mitigation.
if no longer in use.
So what they're saying is that.
Or
There's destroyed.
damage.
Another say, same way it comes in, you wouldn't be allowed to rebuild it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'd have. to
Okay,
remove any-
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good,
Any other
And you could
questions or
remove any
concerns?
debris from the-
I move that we accept this after the fact.
I second it. I thank you for all the work you've done to.
Right.
I really appreciate
It's a very complex.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your understanding and
Well, we're not there
consideration.
yet, so we have to vote. Yeah, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
And yes, so it's now approved.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys, who would like to receive the paperwork?
If you could send it to my office, I'll make sure that it gets out to everybody that it needs to get out to.
Okay, thank you, Teresa.
All right, thanks, Jennifer.
you've never remembered.
Very good summer, Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Stay cool.
find something.
No. It's been a long time. Okay, let's start with the second item here. 5 or so, 174 Pleasant Point Road, map 35, parcel 113, and after the fact notice of intent to modify the existing deck, propane tank, modify hardscape and portable hot zone. We visited that site last month. Lee? Are you representing them on them?
Yes, good afternoon, sir. I have a few printouts. I don't know. We had some last minute flurry of exchange of factual data. And I'd like to ask through you, Mr. Chair, the agent, would it be appropriate? I have just a paragraph on John O'Reilly, and I have a blow up of the site plan that he referred to. Or is that something that we don't need?
I don't know what it is, yeah.
Yeah, well, why don't you bring it up and we'll take a look at it. Well, it's just not clean. CC.
Oh, it's an overlay with the, I mean, we can,
Conservation projects.
I think it's an overlay with the septic on it. I think the condition, a letter from the health department stating all unpermitted work must be in compliance with septic regulations is enough. I can't look at this and say if it's in compliance.
Oh, so the engineer's statement isn't sufficient?
Well,
I misunderstood that. I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, I think that the health department needs to see it though. We just, I mean, we can look at this, but it's not, we can just leave this condition in here and not worry about discussing information that wasn't included
Right.
the week before, you know?
But we only got this request a few days ago.
Yeah, well, that's when the health department saw it on my desk and asked about it. That's why, you know, we can put the ball in the health department's court and you can give this to the health department and then let them, health department can write us a letter. That's probably the best way to,
Okay, does it appear in your professional opinion that there's an inconsistency?
I'm not a health agent. I don't ever.
But I mean, in terms of the location of the,
I can't comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, I thought the site plan would be, something that could elucidate that, so.
because I know that the assistant health agent was the one that saw this and wanted,
Right.
so I can't speak on his behalf.
Right,
So I think it's best if we just have that condition in there that says that, you'll need to get the health agent to approve
Right.
it, not just yeah.
I don't think that'll be a problem now.
No, I don't, it'll be easy enough for everyone, so.
What's your suggestion for moving forward here, so I don't take the commission's time? So I should probably introduce myself for the record. My name's Gordon Peabody. I work with Safe Harbor Environmental, a small interdisciplinary consulting group right here in Wellfleet. We do environmental consultations. This particular property owner ran afoul of getting excited about doing something and not getting permits. That's not a good way to get to know your conservation commission. And he'd been a professional in another state prior to coming here and was used to a different style of design and application. I think it's fair to say that he did not understand our
He
conservation.
had previous violations, so he should have been aware, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give everyone the benefit of the doubt here. So,
We're trying to.
So-
Where is the septic tank? Excuse me, it's in the legend, it's called out as ST, and I'm.
it's shown in red. It should be shown in red. There's two.
Oh, okay, it's not called ST, it's just identified as an outline there, okay, thank you.
Where is it?
It's. I think it's right there, under my thumbnail.
Oh, I don't have red. I don't.
it's only in the one that he just touched out.
Okay.
The engineer was leaving for his vacation that day. And as a professional courtesy, he put that together for me so that I could.
Yeah.
provide
I
you.
mean, I don't think I don't think that, that septic issue shouldn't make or break it for this. We can move on from that with
Okay.
this one condition. I just,
Okay.
want to make sure that everybody's aware that if anything changes, he's gonna have to come back for an amended order.
Okay.
But we can talk about the changes that he is proposing to make to put himself in compliance.
Right.
And I think that should be the focus.
So, I met with the property owner several times and helped him to understand what it is we're all trying to go for and the rationale for permitting and the rationale for compliance. And then I proceeded to put together an environmental management plan that not only provided compliance, but also provided more than the commission had asked for. And I explained that that's something you always want to do because you want to signal your intent to comply. The commission wanted a certain square footage of plantings and we exceeded that. And that's included in the planting plan. There's a lot, this is mainly the details. We're going to be riding herd on this. We're going to be doing the plantings, going to be doing the dry wells where they're necessary, going to be doing the outdoor rinse station for the Wellfleet style. And I believe the other things that have been requested by the commission previously were shown in the site plan as requested.
Well, we have some. So are you gonna be taking care of removing the wiring for the hot tub and, or?
That's something that we certainly can do, but usually you want someone with a ticket to do that, with a license if they have to. I would prefer that, you know, I don't need help looking.
Well, they're gonna dig a trench and pull up the cable. Are you gonna be responsible for
Yes,
seeing that? Yeah. Go ahead.
you know, it's incumbent on the applicant to maintain performance standards. Zero discharge is our erosion control performance standard, so we would definitely be on that.
Okay.
So in this plan that you just sent around, you say that the in-ground irrigation system remains in place for a year, as opposed to removing it and putting on top of the ground temporary irrigation system?
That's a good question, and I thought about that quite a bit, and I think we have something there that can keep our vegetation alive for another year without doing a lot of digging out there. And this way we can, instead of putting in another system, just to leave this one in place and pull it out at the end of the next growing season. Because it will have accomplished protecting the vegetation that we're putting in and will comply with the commission.
I understand that logic, but I am nervous about this property. I would prefer to see the unpermitted activity be removed right away. So I would prefer to see that irrigation removed prior to any plantings and then put above ground irrigation. I'm not convinced that it'll actually ever go away.
I have a suggestion.
So
The owner brought this up when we met in my office last week. He said, let's just say October, that I'll take it out.
I mean, I think that there should be no plantings done until the irrigation is removed. So you probably wouldn't be doing plantings right now anyways in the heat of the summer.
Right, I'm just suggesting, I'm trying to look at keeping stuff alive. He's got a system in place.
Yeah, but you can keep it alive with above ground irrigation just as easily.
The fact that some of us may not trust this person. Now, if I'm involved in this and he suggested to me that he would take it out at the end of October, I feel comfortable putting my name on that, but I realize there's a history here that I can't change. But also, this is a project that I'm going to be involved in, and I don't want to do something that either irritates the commission or is going to be threatening to the vegetation.
What is his rationale for putting it off till October?
Because that's the end of the first growing season.
He wants to keep water, using that in ground irrigation for the season.
So the existing in-ground irrigation support the new planting or just the existing planting?
It would be used for the new plantings and whatever else is there.
Why, yeah, I don't really,
Okay.
it needs to come out. So I don't really understand why we're waiting. You could take it out and immediately put up drip line, which isn't laborious and disturbing to install. So I don't know why we're leaving it in.
It's just digging. I just didn't want him to do digging. Okay.
I think it needs to come out.
Yeah, I think we should add the condition that in-ground irrigation must be removed prior to new plantings.
Okay.
And then if you're planning on, you should be planting this fall, and then the irrigation would be out by then.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't miss something like that. I'm sorry. I thought I was doing a good thing by leaving it in place, but Commissioner Portnoy, right, said it does irrigate other things too.
John, can you have something you want to say?
No, I was just gonna say, I think that if you put in plantings and then you're removing the irrigation later, that's gonna disturb what you put in. I think what we're suggesting is in the long run, the better solution all around.
Actually, a good point that I also missed. Thank you.
So,
So go ahead.
You reference a couple of house documents in this application. The 30 dozen
Right,
safe harbors, erosion control guidelines and so forth.
right.
Are those available through a website?
Yeah, they're on the Safe Harbor website. I can also provide them to the agent who can give them to you. I prefer not emailing members directly.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure those are publicly available.
Yes.
Thank you.
When you're going to move the hot tub, does that have water in it now?
I don't know.
That's gonna have to be pumped out.
Right,
We're
right.
gonna wait for,
Does the commission have a written protocol for hot tub?
You will have the condition that if any pool or spa water is to be removed, it shall be trucked off-site and disposed of properly outside of any resource area or buffer zone. And that will remain in perpetuity.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can't just dump it. They have to have it trucked off.
I mean, it's empty now, that is not so much an issue, but if it has water in it, that's,
Right. I can check on that.
well, just have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
The fuck it away.
I mean, I would let you know.
Yeah, great.
I think overall, the applicant has done the majority of what we asked, removing all the new structure within the 0 to 50-foot filter strip and doing mitigations for the new structure that's in the 50 to 100-foot buffer. I think overall they did what we were asking. So that's good.
And I'm glad they're getting rid of the hot tub.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
yeah, they're moving it onto a disturbed area. Yeah. Mhm.
So I'm okay.
did we mention the lighting for the,
Yeah, it says it's solar now, they're taking.
Yeah, they're gonna remove all the electrical line and change it to solar. Yeah.
okay, good, good, that's a better way to do it anyway.
So,
There's somebody on the thing that has their hand raised. Do you want to recognize them?
Are they in a butter?
Don't know.
Okay.
It just says.
Hi, this is Jack Herndon from Senning Associates in Brewster. I'm representing the client with Gordon. I'm just here if you have any questions. I was here last time, so I just wanted to make myself available.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
But there was
I think
somebody
we're
else.
just about to the penultimate aspect of this.
I'm ready to
Are you making a motion?
motion that we accept this as an after effect.
I do have one question, if I could, before we go to that.
Yep.
So I had spoken with the owner earlier today, and he just had one question about the beach grass. He's completely fine with all of the amount of plantings, but just where the beach grass is located right now on the plan is in a bit of an awkward place. And I was wondering if, when it's actually planted, if it is closer to the bank, if that's okay, as opposed to being more towards the sculpture, if you see on the plan. So just giving him a little bit more room in his, I guess, backyard area.
Well, I think that's there to make up for the added, he's decreasing the lawn space. And I think this is why Gordon did it this way, but he's decreasing the lawn space to make up for the increase of structure in the 50 to 100-foot buffer, which is what typically would have been required.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, is there a second?
Second, Mike.
Okay, how do you vote, Mark?
Yes.
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 And yes, okay.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you, Jack.
All right. Thank you.
While you both are here though, where do you want Jen to send the original? Who's recording it?
We'll pick it up.
You'll grab it?
You're gonna pick it up?
And record it.
Okay, thank you, Gordon.
So just to be clear, because we put a couple changes in here. I don't have a perfect memory, but so far it's pretty good. So the electric is gonna be dug up, the water is gonna be dug up. And was there a third thing that I missed?
Nope, just the
Empty the water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all going to be in the special conditions. In-ground irrigation must be removed prior to installation of new plantings. Any pool water removed has to be trucked off.
okay.
And is it understood that there'll be surface irrigation to ensure the survival of the?
Yeah, they are allowed above ground drip irrigation.
Yeah, we'll put
for-
something in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Today's also my birthday.
Oh,
happy
birthday.
I couldn't think of a better place to.
Sorry, Louis. No, that's way to celebrate your birthday.
No, actually,
With us.
Time you've been out of hearing on your birthday.
Wellfleet has one of the better conservation commissions. The deep bench of thinking and experience.
Yeah, 5 PhDs in these.
It's a festive event all the time.
I'll get the.
You go to party town.
I'll get the cake after I get home.
Make sure it's.
So I appreciate your patience with the after the fact stuff because it's always potentially awkward for all parties, but it is.
Take care.
Bye, Gordon.
Right, see you next time. Okay.
Boy,
Yeah. David L. Gusa, 80 George's Way, map 16, parcel 610, it's enacted without notice of intent. The mitigation findings after a violation. And that was continued from June 6th. Hello.
Good afternoon. For the record, I'm Lauren Schofield from Schofield Brothers. You're the property owner. That's it, but I believe wanted to have a chance to address the commission before I do my presentation. So turn your
Hi,
Hello.
if you're able to get here through now, and I apologize for that, but I just like to introduce myself. I am David Gressett, and I've been coming to Wellfleet for 66 years. Most recently, my family owned a lease, I shouldn't say a house, but a lease on the easternmost end of Long Pond for 12 years before the National Seashore took effect. And 10 years later, I bought upon the find of this little house at Dyer Pond. Sadly, it couldn't be renovated. It was overrun with mold and rot. And I was forced to take it down and replace it. I just want to tell you a little bit about that. This project, of course, required a completely new septic system to be built at the top of the hill next to the garage. Myself and architect Joy Cumming of A-Line Architecture agreed from the start that this replacement structure would occupy the exact footprint that the old one did, 20 feet by 30 feet, just as the legislation for the National Seashore intended. Additionally, there would be no request for variances from Wellfleet Building Department, conservation bylaws, or any other code enforcement of any type, and there were none. She was tasked with hiring and following the guidance of Gordon Peabody, who obviously you know, Safe Harbor. And all of the above is exactly what we did, what she did, I should say. Also, I landscaped nothing at that house, and I don't know if you noticed that or a couple of other things when you made your visit. But I have planted nothing there, absolutely nothing, because I like Cape just the way it is. Everything is as it was at that house in terms of the property, as far as I know, for at least 50 years now. I was unable to visit the site during approvals or construction, except 3 times. My mother was ill and dying that year, and I was in the I tell you that personal information only so you'll understand that I learned nothing about wetland or conservation regulations from the construction process. I wasn't here. I would like the commission to know that every tree I removed at this property was to reduce the risk of property damage or personal harm for us and for the public who swim regularly right to our beach from the other side, from the public beach area and back and forth across the pond. No tree was removed to improve views or anything like that. Our views of the pond are fine, and we like our privacy as well. Anyway, we live in the woods, and please remember that the tree line is 10 feet from my house on one side, 4 feet on the other. With the 100-foot, within the 100-foot buffer zone, which I now understand and have looked at this survey to understand, within that 100-foot buffer zone, there is a house, a garage, a shed, an outdoor shower, 3 air conditioning units, a patio, and a porch. I evaluated for some time what trees presented the greatest risk, as I don't really like taking trees down. And I wanted to mention, in fact, that I actually spent $750 several years back to cable and hold 2 of the pitch pines to the side of my property that were leaning towards the beach, leaning directly towards the beach area where we swim and the public swim. I don't know if you noticed this on the property. I brought it over because it obviously had to come down when those 2 trees on that side there came down. Anyway, if you feel that I should have known the regulations regarding tree removal and conservation at the property and the pond, I would completely understand that. And I apologize to the commission for not knowing that. I obviously do now. I'll know it for next time. And there'll be next times because I live in the woods. So there's gonna be tree issues as probably as early as next year. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Can I ask about the cutting of the trees at the national park?
Yes.
That was the question.
Oh,
There was a considerable number of trees cut down on government land
yes,
to serve your purposes.
yes. I didn't really check the property lines. I cut trees down with perhaps the exception of one that were very, very close to the property line or on it or within it. And that's something else I obviously should have done. I got used to having the woods on both sides and just seeing what was dangerous to us.
And there was also a presentation last time about putting up some sort of a boundary marker so that that error doesn't happen again.
Yes,
Is that on the plan somewhere?
yes,
I can
yes.
address that when I describe the plan revisions.
Okay,
Should I do that now?
I think so.
Okay. So just to recap, after the trees were removed, Mr. Gusick had received direction from Leisha to file the after the fact notice of intent and there was more of a request to focus on the vehicle tracks that had gone through the understory to remove the trees and take them out of there. But and so we did that with our first plan, and actually until we did the plan, we didn't even realize that a lot of this had gone on seashore property, so at that point, it became part of this process. And the seashore, before we can approach the seashore, they want you folks to be satisfied first, so we're in the process of trying to get there. So at the last meeting, after we had a chance to present our project and to kind of have a conversation about it, discussion ensued, and it seemed like the commission was more interested in having the trees replaced on a one-to-one basis rather than replacing the understory so much in the vehicle tracks. So, and we had also discussed having some visual representation of where the property lines were so that we could avoid this in the future. And during the site visit, Leisha had requested that the dog fence be added to the plan. So we have put that on there. And there was also mention of creating more of a vegetated revegetation in the lawn area behind the house. And so we went back to the drawing board. We added 10 trees to the plan. There was one oak stump that was cut down that was in question. I actually went back and looked through the town files, and there was mention of that oak stump on Gordon's former filing. So that had apparently been there from before. So we are calling for the replacement of 10 trees. We've included some white pines, which was requested the last time we were here, as well as 3 black oaks and 3 white oaks. And we've tried to put them where, based on a site visit, seemed like there was room to plant some more trees, because the good news is it's actually really well vegetated out there. It's actually a little hard to find places to suggest plantings, but these seem like they would be good spots for the new trees. And we also had talked the last time about having the tree size be 4 to 6 feet tall so that we can get them in there without needing more machinery in there to deliver a bigger tree. So that's why they were proposed at 4 to 6 feet tall trees. We also have called for the birdhouses on posts to be installed so that it's visually clear where the property line is. And we decided to also install them at the intersection of the property line with the 100-foot buffer zone and also the 50-foot filter strip so that we know where those are as well. And we added one more post down by the vehicle tracks closer to the pond. So we've added those since the last plan. We also added the dog fence, and David was wondering if we could please maintain a 4-inch clearance at the bottom because the fence is intended to protect his dog. It actually is not an enclosed fence near the pond. There is no fence along the frontage of the pond, so that it's actually open there. And the section where the stairs come down the hill, a 20-foot section of fence is requested to just be flush with the ground there because a lot of dog walkers have their dogs off leash and they tend to run down the hill towards the yard. And lastly, the commission had asked about this Cape Cod lawn area behind the house, and a 6 to 10 foot strip of vegetation was tossed out there. And right now, there's only about 10 feet from the patio to the edge of clearing, so there's not a lot of lawn area to begin with. So there's reluctance to revegetate that whole lawn area, but we tried to come up with some things that would be beneficial. And we have added some shrubs down there, some sheep laurel. And also the last time that the commission was out to the site, there was mention of invasive species, of which there's not a lot, but there is some lily of the valley down there. And we thought that perhaps before that gets completely out of control, that we could offer to remove that from that area adjacent to the lawn. And I think I've covered everything, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
So it's a white pine going.
They are down
Oh,
at the bottom there.
where the stumps are.
I'm concerned about those where it's located. White pine grow fast and they grow very tall. I mean, you're talking 60 to 80 feet tall. And I'm concerned that we're not planting a future problem by putting them so close to the house there. And is there a reason that they're there as opposed to somewhere else on the plan? I just see, I love white pine, but I do think it grows tall.
Well, that was my suggestion because some very large trees were taken away, large trees that were right on the edge or close to the edge of the pond.
Nice to.
And we're performing an important function there and protecting the pond. So that was mine from me.
Yeah.
I have one more question. Where is the beach area? What can you show us where you actually use the beach at that or?
See, if you look at the survey and you see the steps heading towards the pond.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of those steps, it doesn't show, but there is actually vegetation on both sides, which extends another 6 or 8 feet and creating a little bit of a path. And then there's a beach area there, which is probably, well, it depends on how high the water is, but it could be like right now, it's pretty low. So it's probably 20 feet wide, the beach area there. On other years, there's no beach at all.
Okay, but when there's exposed beach, I'm just trying to get a feel for the area that you use and the area that you want to protect from, trees falling. How much width of beach do you typically use on a low water year, for example?
I'd say pretty much what it looks like now, which would be 20 to 30.
Okay, because I mean, I don't think it's reasonable for us to go after every tree that could potentially fall across a beach anywhere around Dyer Pond, because, you know, the trees grow up and they fall down. And, you know, the probability of being struck by a tree, unless you're habitually setting up in the same spot under a dangerous tree, probability is pretty low, and we can't, you know, we're not gonna cut trees for that extremely low probability, otherwise we'd be clearing the forest. And in particularly in this case, upon a tree right along the edge of the pond, as I said before, performs especially important functions, protecting pond water quality and protecting from erosion and so forth. So I think that's our rationale to try to limit the cutting of live trees, or even dead trees around the edges of Dyer Pond.
I understand.
And to be clear, the Wetlands Protection Act, the provision of hazardous trees is only for structure. So if a tree is falling into a resource area or over a pond, that is not something that is deemed hazardous by the Wetlands Protection Act.
John, could I ask you a question? What about the white pine that's closest to the house, substituting pitch pine there? Would that work for
Well,
you?
the only reason we didn't suggest pitch pine in place of pitch pine is because currently now there's a forest, and with pitch pine established, those pitch pine established, it was open. And you know, as you know, pitch pine needs full sun.
Right.
So that's why I suggested white pine.
Okay.
And white pine will take the wind better, like pitch pines, they
Right.
top in a different way. So the white pine that they established there, it will take a while for that to be hazardous. It'll take a long time for that to actually be hazardous to the home, especially it'll be fairly exposed there. And like I said, they're just not nearly as dangerous as in terms of wind as these pitch pines.
Just for the record, I planted a white pine that was in my house as a Christmas tree. It grew like 60 feet tall and fell on my house and was thorn.
So you have a personal vendetta.
I love white pines.
I think that there's so much vegetation around it. It's going to take a long time for it to get succeed. It's going to be. It's going to have competition.
I'd also like to just point out one thing on the drawing to the commission, because I don't think it's clear. The line, let's see, from the lawn, so-called lawn area, going towards the pond, that brush line or vegetation line there, it's actually between 20 and 30 feet thick from the beginning of it nearest the house out to the edge of the pond. And it doesn't show, and I wanted to make that clear to you because it looks to me like it's on the drawing, it looks like maybe it's 6 feet. But there's a lot growing there. The shortest distance is from the top of those steps to the bottom of the steps is about 18 feet. But the rest of it is literally 30 feet thick. I measured it.
That's good.
I also forgot one point in my presentation. Rather that when we changed our focus to adding the trees, we didn't take back the shrubs. We left the shrubs there too. So we had mitigated for the trees on a 3-to-1 basis with the shrubs that we had proposed. And when we changed track to mitigate the trees themselves, we did not take back the shrubs. So just, I meant to say that right.
Seriously, and I'll shut up after this. About that fence for our dog. Our dog is little and is about 9 inches to the shoulder. And you saw the outdoor shower on the property. It so happens that the bottom of the outdoor shower to the floor is 6 inches. And when we take her in there to give her a bath, she goes right out the bottom. She just squirms out. So I know 6 inches. It's only intended to keep her from wandering into, where the.
Well, the 6 inches that we're requiring is to allow turtles to migrate, and that's a state law. So. That's.
Would it be possible to elevate the fence to 6 inches every so many?
No, the standard for natural heritage and just the standard in general is, turtles aren't. We've all seen turtles try to move through the world, and it takes them a long time to get from point A to point B. And it needs to have a full 6 inches around the fence. And it's not just turtles; it's other wildlife as well, but that tends to be the average height of a box turtle is 6 inches. And that's why it's 6 inches. So I definitely think the commission needs to determine if 4 inches is acceptable. It's not something that you've ever approved before. I did do some research on previous fences.
I'm sure Barbara would, if she were here.
Well, those are box, she does parapets, but I'm sure she appreciates the box turtles.
Is the objective to keep the dog in or keep other dogs out?
Keep the dog in. That's
There are other alternatives, there's the buried electrical things.
Yeah, now they just make them on like a wireless sonar, you just put it and it gives a radius, yeah.
This is estimated habitat for
It is estimated habitat,
wildlife.
yeah, and it, I don't think NHESP got the revised plan with the fence. I'm not sure, but all of the other ones that have this habitat always say 6 inches for the fence.
Sounds like we're compelled to do
6 inches, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, again, it's passage of wildlife. Fences are proven to be negatively impact the resource area, and the way to allow property owner to have fence is to do the 6 inches, regardless of the size of your dog, unfortunately.
I mean, it'd be nice to make an exception because I don't want the dog running down to the pond and crapping in the pond, but I think we're set at 6 inches, then we should just stay. with
You can
that.
still get down to the pond anyway, the fence.
If
If anything, they're trapping the wildlife into their area, not.
Yeah, I think we need 6 inches.
So it's the coyotes and such that we gotta keep away from.
And let's go back to let's readdress the buffer area along the top of the bank there. I mean, generally what we want to do is to increase the buffer area in the 50-foot wherever possible. So the fact that you're close to the pond, if it is in, and in fact, but we still, I still think that's important. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, they want us to not have any additional. If there are 20 or 30, there's some real estate beyond it on the slope that's holding it, but.
I think increasing the vegetation right here and allowing it to naturalize, just a small strip, is a good way to mitigate the adverse effects from those trees coming down that we likely would not have approved.
Yep.
And the current mitigation plantings, in my opinion, does not mitigate the adverse effects that the violation incurred. So
In that particular area. in that
Yeah.
Particular way, right.
So I do think we need to, and the commission can disagree with me, but figure out a way to have more mitigation.
That's the same area where the lily of the valley is to be removed. Right? So there's going to be disturbance with that area anyway to root that out. Seems reasonable to me.
Any other comments? Strikes me that we need you to rethink about that buffer area. And you're gonna have to come up with a different alternative for your fence.
Of course,
For your fence. And what was the reason for having a fence at ground level at the bottom of the stairs there, I guess you're talking about?
well, at the top of the property by the garage, the National Seashore sort of has a pathway that crosses across the top of my property. So depending on the day, 10, depending on the season, 10 people or 100 people will go by, and a lot of them are walking dogs, especially in the off season, and they come carrying down the hill. So sometimes.
So where's the fence on?
No, sorry.
That's a cellular area.
No, it's in the 100-foot buffer.
Or is it, I just don't see where it is.
It's right here.
This part?
Yeah, it's right there.
So,
It's
so I get
right
across the bottom.
at the bottom of
It's the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, that's 18 feet and it's parallel to the pond, not perpendicular. That's one of the reasons we thought we could at least.
So the parts of the fence that do run up and down the hill there are already there, is that correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all fence.
Okay, so you're really just talking about that one. Is that fence flush with the ground?
Yeah, all the fences flush with the ground.
I still,
And then they want to just leave this one section to remain flush with the ground.
I see.
Well, I don't think we can,
It's not,
it's.
I mean, you can decide if you want to allow that one section to be flush, but typically, especially because this is mapped habitat for,
And what are you worried that's gonna be shorter than 6 inches and running down there? What, I mean, what's the reasoning for having?
yeah, a big one
flush with
still won't be able to get underneath that 6 inches.
That's right, just the small. You know, all kinds, I mean, really a lot of people walk those across there. Everybody from the neighboring neighborhoods that want to walk around the pond. And I assumed your wildlife interest was mostly circumferential, related to the pond, movement around the outside edge of the pond, so.
No,
Since this was
It's everything, it's all around.
Turtles go everywhere.
Yeah, and it's not, box turtles are the national heritage species there, but adverse impacts to the resource area includes vegetation and all wildlife, not just turtles, so. Yeah. You have to be able to get under or go over is the intent of, the fence.
I have a quick question, just because I'm wondering, has the commission had in the past other forms of mitigation with respect to protecting pond health other than increasing providing more
Reducing lawn area?
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys have been here longer than me.
Can't think of anything. You have some ideas?
Well, I was just starting with you guys to see whether or not there was any.
I don't know. I mean, the house already has rain gutters on it or dry walls, it's a new construction. Because, so there's probably less opportunities. In general, reducing lawn size, I think, is a great way to mitigate adverse impacts. But if you have another idea.
Well, I mean, I guess in this case, it's not like a golf course lawn, it's a Cape Cod lawn. Are there other areas? Where do people come into Dyer Pond on the other side? Is there opportunity to?
That's already been, well, I don't know how successful it's been, but the National Seashore has been working for years to try to stabilize that, where the outlet comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it's been very successful if you had seen it 20 years ago, but yeah. So that's an active restoration area by the seashore.
Could we approach them to find out if there was something that you could do with respect to, from their perspective?
Excuse me, John? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Are you referring to the public beach?
That's
Across?
I think that's what Laura was.
Yeah, well, let me add, because I'm there all the time, that on the, I guess, east side, the people who walk to that public beach, there are two additional, essentially, public beaches that people have just hang out at and have eroded and knocked stuff down and knocked bare, and they try and fence it off each year, but it's immediately the fence is cut and people are all over that area as well. I say that's two, I'll call it beaches, for maybe 20 feet each, 15 feet, 20 feet each. Maybe we could do something there, because that's really not in control at all.
Well, that doesn't, that doesn't, that doesn't fly. Go ahead.
Yeah, you referred to the existing lawn as a Cape Cod lawn. Does that mean it's just not, I mean, there is Well, John sent us the APCC thing about the Cape Cod lawns. There is a definition of a Cape Cod lawn. Is this, are we talking about the kind of mix of grasses and mosses, and it would definitely be defined as a Cape Cod lawn? Or are we talking about just a lawn that it's not just fescue or bluegrass? That's
Like my backyard. That's something that we could look into.
well, I don't know if other people.
I don't remember, I don't even know if the lawn was growing when last time I was
It's
there.
completely untouched.
But was it planted with, just because it's untouched, after you did construction, what was it replanted
It's
with?
replanted with tufts of grass specified, I guess by the commission
By the
or
commission.
otherwise, that Gordon and his people came and planted by hand. And then came and irrigated and then planted some more and then irrigated some more. And I have been cultivating, trying to get that one side that's a little sandy to grow very slowly, each year to get it moved along, but no seeding, no nothing there except I guess what you just described, which is wild grass and moss.
Well,
A lot more.
So we don't know.
I was just wondering if would we feel more comfortable if they actually made that into a Cape Cod lawn as
Then it
opposed
wouldn't have to be left to naturalize, you know,
Right.
so unless it's left to naturalize and they don't mow it, it's, you know, that's what a Cape Cod lawn is, left to naturalize.
Right,
So I don't know if they would wanna not mow that area, I would rather lose 5 feet of it than not be able to mow it,
okay.
but that's up to him.
Is that just, is it mowing? I mean, just as a state, is it?
We cut it back twice a year.
Well, it's kind of like a Cape Cod.
It is a Cape Cod lawn. It is. I don't know, I don't think we're ever out there.
Just to keep the woody stuff out.
Yeah, they're mowing it twice a year, pretty much.
well, if the APCC just came out with something like that, which is better, and we could turn that area into
I
something.
have a suggestion for the mitigation. Why don't I, or if the whole commission wants to go, they can, go back on site now while things are growing to get a better idea of what's out there, and maybe we can talk about getting ourselves in the right direction.
Yeah.
I think that might be the way to go, because there's a lot of speculation happening, because last time we were there, nothing was growing. So why don't we do that? If I can go out on site with you guys and talk, look at the site, maybe we can figure out an appropriate location to bring back to the commission. Is everyone on board with that?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay,
and the fence, though, I think the
I
fence.
think the fence has to go to 6 inches, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's part of living within the 100-foot buffer to a well in Massachusetts, is you are held to a higher standard, so to speak, yeah.
So,
So that means you probably want a continuance until you can meet on site
Yes.
and enhance the plan. Moving in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah.
How much time do you need? I'm not going on vacation or anything, my schedule is fairly flexible to meet, you know, soon, if you wanted to get on to the next hearing. Or if you wanted to push it out until the August 20th.
Maybe we should do that just because we have to meet and then I have to revise
Yeah.
the plans, but August 20th, I think is, all right, does that work for you?
right. So I know that we continue this, David, that's it. The Village's Way until August 20th.
Second.
Yes.
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 Yes,
And yes, we're moving in the right direction on this.
And just,
And we'll be in touch about.
Yes.
Leon, I just want to comment that, I sent around the current newsletter from APCC, that I just got this yesterday. And it's got, there's a video in there that talks about Cape Cod lawns. And, I don't think there is a definition of Cape Cod lawn. So we shouldn't presume that there is, but this is sort of the best description, it is the best description that I've seen. So I would just suggest we all look at that.
Did Kristen put that?
I don't know, I didn't notice.
It's in there, if you go to their website and you just click the newsletter, it'll be
It'll
it.
be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down.
Yeah,
the tool.
final back to the stuff on that, but there.
Well, you don't wanna put that in the pot.
Okay, well, thank you for your effort. Thank you. All right, the next one is Clark Santa 70 Pond Avenue, US 35, Buffalo, PT. They request a continuance to August 20th, so I move.
Second, Michael.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and yes. Okay, thank you. All right, and the next one is Damon Way, 40 Hiawatha Road, LLC.
Hello.
40 Hiawatha Road, map 28, parcel 176, a request for determination of applicability, remove 7 large pitch pines to install mitigation plantings. We were out there this morning.
Refuse.
This one,
That's all right.
Can
Can you wait?
you?
Is this one?
Can we can do this one quick.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Damon, I'm gonna do a quick summary for you so we can move this along real quick, so we have a
Thank
quote,
you.
okay?
Thank
Just, Bob was there, this site,
What say you?
technically this should probably be a JO, but there are too many trees. It's very naturalized, the trees are obviously hazardous. He's removing 7 pine trees and we've been talking about mitigation plantings, likely Atlantic cedar, and him and I will work on the quantity and where they're gonna go.
Red cedar.
Yeah,
Okay, I propose that we move forward.
So the motion was to accept.
Second. Yes.
Yes.
Some more beach days.
thank you, Bob. Thanks for here, Damon.
Okay,
Sorry I had to sit around for an hour.
no worries. Thank you very much, Commission and Leisha. Have a great
And-
day.
Then we'll. Okay.
Right, we'll circle back. Perfect. Thank
Mhm.
you.
You can at least vote for minutes,
So, well, but we.
except for one.
We still have a couple of
That's the
items.
wrong one, Lisa.
Ground Hall, 195 Kendrick Avenue, map 20, parcel 23, these requests as no continuance until August 20th, so that we can make sure that the proposed solution is legal at a higher level. So I move it, so moved.
Second.
Yes.
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 And yes, okay, so let's continue to.
Who
20.
seconded?
I did.
Oh, thank you, John.
Okay, finally, we have Russell Murphy, 20 Pine Point Road, map 15, parcel 132, SE 077-507, certificate of compliance for construction of new septic system. As I understand, this was permitted back in the last century.
Yeah, this one's wicked old. Well, I guess not the oldest we've seen, but 1990. The work's been completed. It was got the, check from health department.
We
So
got the signature for Bob on that.
I recommend approval.
So move.
Second, Michael. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And yes. Only one problem we're gonna have, and that's that Bob needs to sign that.
Okay,
He's not
we'll get
here.
him in.
Okay, I move that that's the last hearing, so I move that we adjourn the public hearings.
Second, Michael. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we are adjourned. We are now, the business meeting is now in session. In attendance, we still have,
Yes, there is. Sorry.
what's this? for?
Um,
Oh,
Okay, sorry, I was getting the paper. Leon, did you move to close the hearings?
I did.
And I second it.
And you did, okay, thanks.
And it was unanimous.
Nobody wants it to.
Do you want to recognize the person who has their hand up?
Who has their,
Did you start the business meeting yet?
Yeah.
we have started the business meeting.
Do you want to hear this person?
All right, very well. Who is it?
Don't know. It was iPhone 6.
Hi.
iPhone 6?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Chair Shreves. This is Jude Ahern speaking. Thank you for, is this the appropriate time to say something? Because It'll be brief.
Does it have something to do with business?
Well, it had to do with the business from last meeting, so I don't know, like, if you're taking any sort of public comments, it would be something like that.
Give me 2 minutes.
Okay. So I appreciate from your June 18th meeting that you expressed the email I had sent the committee, and I had actually gone to the building as well to try to find out what was going to be discussed. And it wasn't that there was lack of materials, which there was no materials, but that's a Secretary of State issue. But it really was a lack of notice of what it was you were going to talk about. It didn't say expanding culching. It didn't say there was going to be a presentation, certainly for as long as it was. And in the end, voting to have the agent send a letter, I don't know if that's happened yet. I've tried to see a copy of that, or I urged you to at least see it before it was sent. It was unclear who this letter was being sent to. And I just think that it's a really important topic and something that back in 2016 and 17, CONSCOM was leading the way. So I object to the town telling me I have to pay $100 to get some of this information. I would expect that you all have that. So I guess I want confirmation, number one, that that's in your possession, all the stuff that Kurt did, all the stuff that Alex Hay did, because some of these issues just still have not been resolved. So if we go down this road again, and the plan is to not bring you back into the fold till the end again, you're the ones notifying the abutters. We still don't know about privately owned intertidal land. I don't think the park has been engaged. SAB mentioned something about the west side, and if you culch there, they can still drag. What maps are we using? Like, there's so many basic things that I think you should be involved with. So my objection last month was really insufficient notice that there was going to be such a presentation like that. So I believe it's an open meeting law thing.
I do not, because all we did was say, well, the only thing we voted on was is that conceptually we were in favor of expanding it, but no decision was made about anything. As far as we're still in the loop on that.
But like, who is the letter to? Do we at least know that?
Just a second.
Oh, sorry.
Is Nancy's responsibility. Shellfish Constable is responsible for conducting this. Aren't.
Sorry, you're cutting out. I can't hear you.
We are not responsible for the production of the business of the Shellfish Constable. She's very well familiar with what she's doing and the approach to doing it. Coming to us is inappropriate. All we make our recommendations on are based on as far as navigation and wildlife protection, are they being met? That's the only thing that we rule on.
The wetlands too, the Wetlands Protection Act, right?
Yes, but everything else, as far as what you're talking about procedure and cost and all these other issues, not our problem. We don't.
Okay. Well, she said that CONSCOM would be the agency notifying the abutters. So just so you know that, that's.
Again, yeah, we don't need to repeat ourselves. Thank you for your comment, Jude. We appreciate your input.
Okay, because the state has told me that you guys are the first place, not the last, as the wetlands protection. And if this weren't being funded by somebody else, we would all be making these decisions.
We hear you. Thank you. Let's move on to jurisdictional opinions.
There are none.
No, okay. Do we have any mail or other discussions to discuss?
There are none. Unless there's something.
Well, there's the
Well, we have
2026 schedule.
Well, let's do that when everybody's here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's just move.
We have a very form.
And that's unless somebody has something that they've got going on, but.
Okay, and finally, we have the approval of 2 minutes, one for June 4th and one for June 18th.
I was not here for the 4th, I think.
Right, so we still don't have.
It's the 18th, though.
Okay, we can do the 18th.
We can do the
We
18th.
talked about one for June 4th.
but we didn't approve it.
Because we didn't have a form, and we still don't have a form, because John wasn't there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got it.
This is the minutes from hell here. Okay, I move that we approve the minutes for June 18th, if there's no comments.
I had some stuff.
There's some comments. Stand by to take on.
I'm getting ready.
You ready? Okay,
She's not ready. Wait a second.
Can you just?
Oh, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Two sections there. On the second page, toward the top, there's a list of 5 items. Number 5, trees that were on the original planting plan rather than planting plan.
Should be planting, there should be T for instead of the second M.
Yeah, and then on the next, get that? On the next page, page 3. Karen Ridley listed the reasons why fill is no longer needed from the golf course for the town line roads. I'm pretty sure she mentioned as an important, I don't know if this is important. I think she mentioned as one of the important factors was that they found the geotechnical borings of the golf course found that there was material that was going to subside a lot, so they needed more fill in the golf course. And that's why they didn't want to give it to the town for the low-lying roads.
Okay.
And
Well, give me 1 second.
yeah, that one. Do you want me to write
That's
that?
just in addition to the other points.
Yeah, in addition to the other points.
In just,
Yeah, okay.
additional point, yeah.
All right, boring, so they needed more fill. Cause it was gonna settle?
Because, yeah, they found out that there was stuff under, the sediment underground was likely to settle more than they originally.
Are the letter attached to those minutes, or can we see those minutes?
The minutes are on hand, right?
They'll be approved for everybody.
But they're not on yet because we haven't approved
We
it.
haven't approved them yet.
Okay, I'm ready for more there, John.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. I think, I'll give you this, Jen, but I think when Nancy Chiavetta was describing their new approach to selecting culture areas,
What page is that, sorry?
it's on page 6, 4th paragraph.
Okay.
It's about with Chiavetta noted that her department will eventually. The second sentence, department is looking to create a contour area following the spat catching coastal zone where the most set would be successful. I'll give you this because
Oh, okay.
I have a. I think what she said was she wants to identify an elevational contour or a depth contour throughout the coastal zone where spat collection would be most successful. I'll give you this.
Okay.
And then the bottom paragraph of that sentence. There was page 6, bottom paragraph. It's John, it's your comment. Humbler added that it is good that the mouth of the river is close to oyster harvesting due to high E. coli levels. This says because oysters now grow there undisturbed, but I think you meant, you can tell me what you meant. I think you meant that the closure was helpful because unharvested oysters contributed.
Right.
Okay, I'll give you
That's
that.
exactly.
Okay.
And then on the next page, page 7, second paragraph. Can I remind the commission that during the application process for culturing, many changes could occur. I think you should insert semicolon and then however. And then delete that.
And can you tell me the first part of?
Well, he's gonna give you.
Oh, you're gonna give me the whole thing?
I'm just bringing these up so people can comment if they want.
Yep.
And also on the green crab issue that. Michael asked about the white bories and Nancy explained to mark green crab traps. I think one of their objectives of this green crab project is to test the trapping of crabs for crab control. What do you think? Isn't that what she said?
I'd have to go back to the.
I think that's what she was talking about.
So in addition to surveying
Yeah.
crabs and
I think that's what.
it was to test the efficacy of using the crabs traps. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Anybody else?
So
I was not here, so.
I move that we accept the minutes
With those
corrections.
Second,
Yes,
yes.
Yes.
and yes, okay. Good job, John. I forgot that we were doing a different concept. I've learned. I'm used to them being polished, but.
Okay, so our meeting is over. We finished closing the meeting.
I move that we adjourn the business meeting.
Second,
yes.
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 And yes.
John, I have a question.
Right,
Should we?
That's.